Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Emerson Unitarian Universalist Congregation. It's nice to see you all today. My name is Douglas Futch, and I'll be your worship associate for this morning. We are here this day to celebrate Pride Month in the month of June. It is a commemoration of the Stonewall Uprising on June 28th, 1969 in New York City, and we are happy to be here today. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of each and every person. We work to dismantle racism and oppression. We support the LGBTQ+ communities. We work for reproductive justice, voting rights, and other issues as the world calls us to side with love. We seek to build a beloved community not only here, but in our surrounding areas. I'd also like to offer a special welcome to those online, and we're glad that you're here too. For everyone here in person, you are invited to join us for social time following the service for light refreshments in our fellowship hall. And at 11:25, we'll have some religious exploration, including today an Article 2 discussion here in the chapel. Please be on time for that so that we can get the whole time. Look in your order of service for other activities. And now, I'm going to slow down and pause to we're going to light our chalice. And we have a young gentleman named Henry Ramos Ilmaz to come and light our chalice for us. And I want your shoes. Go ahead. Our chalice lighting words today are by Karishma Gottfried. Each of us was created in the image of love. Wherever we come from, wherever we're going, whoever we are, whomever we love, we proclaim with love on our side. Our bodies are sacred. Our minds are blessed. Our spirits are beloved. May we be open to receive more love, always more love. Thank you, Henry, for helping. Now, in the spirit of love and the beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day as we share our congregational affirmation, we need not think alike to love alike. Let's greet and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around to offer greetings, and for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourselves. Wow, greet your neighbor, brought in a whole lot of new neighbors. Welcome, everyone. Let's rise in body and spirit as we sing our opening hymn, There Is a Love. And I believe Bruce is going to give us some instruction about how to do it.
We have instruction. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad we have a big crowd. So we're going to divide everybody right down the center aisle. So everybody on that side, you're number one. Let me see your number one. You're number one. You're not all that, because over here we have number twos. Let me see twos. So that's our division for the round. This song is very meditative, so really kind of get into it. What we're going to do is we're going to teach you the melody. We're all going to sing the first verse 3 times through together, so we all kind of get the hang of it. Then we're going to pause, and then we're going to start the round. And as we sing the round, we're going to sing the second verse. So if you notice, the main difference is the pronouns have changed. So now we're talking about us and we. So as we learn it, we're going to sing about ourselves. So just listen one time. I'm going to play it on the piano. You don't have to sing. I'll sing it for you. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding me. I rest in this love. Sing with me. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding me. I rest in this love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding me. I rest in this love. One more time. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding me. I rest in this love. So number ones, you're going to start with the second verse. And when you finish, I'm going to give you a fist. That means you just finish this verse you're on and repeat the last line over until the twos catch up. All right? So you ready, number ones? Let me see your number. You know who you are. Number ones. There is a love holding me. Number twos. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding us. I rest in this love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding us. We rest in this love. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding us. We rest in this love. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding all that we love. There is a love holding us. We rest in this love. We rest in this love.
Our opening words today are by Reverend Sharon Wiley and are entitled Wholeness. We speak so often of brokenness in religious life. Let us speak today of wholeness. You are welcome here, all of you. Every part of you beautiful just the way you are. Here you do not need to be something more or something less. Holding back, no hiding. No exerting yourself, no trying to do more or be more. You have inherent worth and dignity. Nothing to prove here. Nothing to prove to me or to the person sitting next to you or the children or to anyone. You don't have to try to be witty or more quiet or more outgoing. You are beautiful. Every part of you beautiful just the way you are. You do not need to change anything about yourself to be welcome here. Your skin, your hair, your belly, thank heaven, your limbs, your face, all beautiful just the way they are. You are extraordinary. Each and every one of you different from and beautiful in your own beautiful way. You are breathtaking. Let us worship together.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Reverend Christina Branum-Martin. It is so good to be with you. We move into a period where we celebrate together our joys, our sorrows, our concerns. And we begin with stones. The stones have weight, and they are smooth. They are indicative of life's pleasures and difficulties, and the water receives them with ease. Each week you are invited to either write in our book what is going on in your life and what you carry in your heart, or you can email it to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org. We place 3 stones each week too. The first in honor of the Cherokee and the Muskogee nations of the indigenous people who lived here before us. The second is in remembrance of those who were wrongly enslaved here and labored on this land. And the third is for those hurting in conflicts around the world, especially the children. Our first stone today is in honor that this is a month for celebrating Pride. We have our Pride Parade here in Atlanta in October, and so in that sense, we might be invited to celebrate Pride all year long. I have another stone for something written in the book from our beloved David Halliday. He says he is happy to announce that I am employed again. He said it took 4 interviews over 2 months this time, but I succeeded. We are so happy for you. And if you would place a stone for the things that are just not ready to be shared yet. Sometimes they are quiet things we hold in our hearts. Know we are here for you when you're ready. If you would join me as we close this ceremonial part of our service with the words of the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. Blessed be. Thank you.
Unitarian Universalism is a faith often referred to as one of deeds, not creeds. How we show up in the world is how we live our faith. One way we seek to do that is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice to the world. Each Sunday, we collect financial contributions which are shared equally with our partner organization. This month, we share our basket with the Moms Demand Action. It's a grassroots movement of Americans, parents, students, families, concerned citizens, and survivors working together in the gun violence prevention movement to end this uniquely American crisis. They work to pass stronger gun laws and work to close the loopholes that jeopardize the safety of our families. They work with business leaders to encourage a culture of responsible gun ownership. This group believes that gun violence is preventable, and they are committed to doing what it takes to keep families safe. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed, please feel free to offer a donation or see in your order of service other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org and select the Giving tab to donate. All donations, unless otherwise specified, are shared equally between Emerson and our partner organization.
Thank you, Bruce. I am Wynn Scow, and I'm the chair of our membership committee. Today, Millie Fuller, our fellowship ministry associate, Reverend Christina, and I have the privilege of officially welcoming 9 new members to our Emerson congregation. This little mini bio of new members for today is so interesting, and I hope that it'll just give you something to start talking with our new members about, because I have gotten a chance to meet all of them, and they're just exciting people. So I'm delighted to welcome 9 new members today. Choosing to become a member of Unitarian Universalist congregation is an act of love and commitment. It is a way to declare that you affirm the inherent worth and dignity of all, that you are committed to a free and responsible search for meaning as you grow spiritually, that you are committed to working for justice and creating a peaceful world, that you acknowledge the interconnectedness of all life, and that you are committed to contributing to the life and health of this Emerson community. We are delighted.
For those of you who are joining today, I'll call you forward, and you will receive a rose of love and welcome from us. And then after, Millie will invite you to sign the membership book after we share a covenant together. And we are so happy to welcome first Clinton Fisher and Tesla Queen. Come on forward. And Chloe Annika Rapol. And Carol Shoemaker. Oh, yeah, stand right here. Stand right here. Thank you. And Peter Golbitz and Mary Klein Golbitz are not here today, but we have them in your book. And we have heard their beautiful music that they've been sharing over the last few months. When you see them another time, please offer a welcome to membership. And now David Halliday and Kelly Baldwin and Sarah Raven. And I just want to make sure that the families that have children know that they can come forward because you are a part of this community too. If you want to, we have a rose for you. Yay. Only if they want to. Hey, Seth, would you like to come forward? No, thanks. All right. So, Wen is now going to help you with our covenant.
I invite our new members to recite the new member covenant together, followed by the congregation response. They're printed in your order of service. Oh, in the back, I see. On the back page of the new member book thing. Okay, so I'm waiting for, okay, everybody's got one, good. Okay, I'll recite with you. I'll pretend to be a new member too. We enter this faith with hope and possibility in our hearts, pledging to participate in and support the ministries of this congregation. We covenant to remain true to the spirit of love that flows through us and guides us. We seek your welcome as we join you in this faith. We are connected. Now I invite the congregation to rise in body or spirit and offer your response in unison. The words are printed in your new member. Okay. We welcome you as we were welcomed. We seek to be open and inclusive, respecting your inherent dignity, your ideas, and your vision. We seek to be supportive, not only when you reach out to us in courage, but also when you need us to reach out to you. In return, we ask that you recognize our humanity. We will not always live up to our ideals, and when we fall short, we invite you to stay in relationship with us and help us more fully bring alive the spirit of love. We welcome you as an equal member of this congregation, of this faith, and of our shared spiritual journey. We are all connected. And now, Millie, anybody who hasn't already signed the membership book will sign. Thank you.
In honor of the celebration of Pride, Jeffrey has a really great story today. It's called Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the Rainbow Flag by Rob Sanders. Come
Yes,
on up.
indeed. I've got a story for all ages. There it is, Pride. Come and join me, the young and the young at heart, if you'd like to hear a story. It's all about Harvey Milk and where that flag came from. Oh, we got a good group today. Lots of people. Good. Excellent. So, as Reverend Christina said, this is a story she picked out for us today all about Harvey Milk called Pride, written by Robert Sanders. You have to give them hope. Hope for a better world, hope for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk. Harvey Milk was an ordinary man, but he had an extraordinary dream. That dream would change history. Harvey dreamed that everyone, even gay people, would have equality. He dreamed that he and his friends would be treated like everyone else. He dreamed that one day people would be able to live and love as they pleased. With his New York accent, Harvey talked to everyone about his dream. His voice boomed, his body bounced with energy and excitement. That's a New York accent. Some people listened, a few agreed, most did not. But Harvey's big voice and his big dream wouldn't be stopped. He discovered that the best way to change laws was to help make laws. In 1977, Harvey Milk took a big step toward that dream when he became one of the first openly gay people to be elected to political office in the United States. Harvey and his friends planned marches to protest inequality and unfair laws. And just days before one of the marches, Harvey had this idea. A symbol, he thought. We need a symbol that shows who we are and how we feel. Something to carry during the march. Something to make people feel they're part of a community. Something to give people hope. Something extraordinary. Harvey knew an artist who could help, Gilbert Baker, so Harvey asked him. And Gilbert said, "We need a flag." Volunteers arrived to help Gilbert's design come to life. Together they dipped fabric into large barrels filled with vivid, vibrant dyes. They cut and pieced and sewed until Harvey, Gilbert, and the other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes, a flag that Harvey hoped would give hope. On June 25th, 1978, when it was time for the march, a breeze stirred in San Francisco. The flag was unfurled. The wind blew, the flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. A rainbow as bright and unique as the men and women who walked behind it led the march. Harvey and the people asked for equality. They asked to be treated like everyone else. They asked to live and love as they pleased. They hoped the march would make a difference. Harvey was proud of the flag and proud of himself. He hoped others could be proud too. Sadly, 5 months later, on the morning of November 27, 1978, Harvey and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, were assassinated. Their lives were taken by a man who did not think like Harvey or feel like him or love like him. The flag did not fly on that dark, sad night. Instead, thousands and thousands of people marched silently, carrying candles. The candlelight wove through the streets of San Francisco, up and down hills and around city buildings. A mile of glowing candlelight in honor of 2 lives lost. That could have been the end of Harvey's dream and the colorful flag, but it wasn't. More rainbow flags were created. Some of the colors changed. 8 stripes became 6 stripes, but the meaning of the flag did not change. It was a flag of equality. More and more people began to think of the flag as their flag, and they began to feel pride. They began to have hope. In 1994, Gilbert Baker designed another rainbow flag. This one was larger than all the rest. Women and men, side by side, carried the flag, a proud mile-long rainbow floating through New York City. The flag wove through the streets, up and down avenues and boulevards, and around city buildings. The people demanded equality. They demanded to be treated like everyone else. They demanded to live and love as they please. They were proud, they had hope, they would make a difference. More rainbow flags were made. Some were printed on bumper stickers and t-shirts. Others were hoisted onto lampposts on Halsted Street in Chicago. One was hung in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Soon, the rainbow flag was flying in other countries like Brazil, England, Israel, Russia, Singapore, and Turkey. The rainbow flag now unfurled on farms, in suburbs, and in cities. The flag flew proudly outside public buildings, hotels, shops, restaurants, churches, and homes. And once, on June 26, 2015, the White House was awash in the colors of the rainbow flag. Equality, pride, hope, and love. Harvey's dream became a flag for us all. Oh, thank you, Harvey. We appreciate what you did for us. All right, shall we stand and sing our song of dedication?
Ah, there I am. I would like to invite our hymn leaders back up. So if anyone in the choir or a hymn leader would like to come join Jeffrey up on the dais, we're all going to be singing a song together for our anthem this morning. Yes, that means you win. Get up here. So everyone knows this song. It's a very beautiful song. It was voted the most popular song of the 20th century. It's called Over the Rainbow. I think some of you have heard of it before. But what we're going to do is Jeffrey and I are going to share the verse to the song that's not heard very often. You don't even hear Dorothy sing it in the movie. So I don't know why it didn't make the final cut. It's very beautiful. The words are lovely. When we get to the chorus, which you all know so well, please join us. We don't want to be singing alone. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Everyone sing. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to their troubles melt like lemon drops way up above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, bluebirds fly over the rainbow. Why, little, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
As we enter a time of prayer and meditation, I am going to be a little loud. Sometimes this is a time for being quiet and taking a breath, but I'm going to use my voice and my passion and these words to speak out what I want in the world. Laurel Littlejohn Gray wrote this prayer called The Prayer for Queer Kids. It begins, when I Google prayer for queer kids, the first hit is sin. Asking God to force repentance for what I call holiness. And so I yell, and I swear, and I rage, and I feel the heat of fury mixed with the protection I want to bring with my arms. Absolutely not, I think. That thing that they despise, I call it sacred. This being oneself in a world that suggests repentance with the tone of holier than thou damnation. No, not here, not within these walls of this congregation, not in this house. There will be no repenting for the courage to love honestly, for the ways that your gender beckons you to bloom. No, this is a house for queer kids. A ring of fire protecting the Eden that exists inside embodied love. And in this house, we speak only of the holiness and existing honestly, in living, and in loving fully. My prayer for queer kids is this. May you find the people who love you fiercely. May the God of grace fill your lungs with life. And when people leave you gasping with tears, may you know in your bones that you can never be separated from that which is sacred, because it already exists in you. It exists in every gesture of love that you dare to offer to the world. It is a salve for the bruise of the souls of anyone who believes that they are only somewhat worthy. You yourself are an act of holy defiance. You, my dear, are glorious, just as you are, now and forever. from the bottom of my heart. I say amen. Saying amen is an acknowledgement that this is something we share together, that we believe together. And I know that this is a place that tries to live this out fully. May these walls hold us in like a protective hug for all of us. Amen.
All right. Good morning, Emerson.
Good morning.
My name is Natalie Holm. I've been a lifelong Emersonian. And the title of my talk is I'm bi, actually. Because I am bi, actually. And it's a quote by Nick Nelson from Heartstopper, a queer show on Netflix. Bisexuality is strange. It's a turbulent tightrope to walk in life, constantly slipping off of each side, like attracted to men, attracted to women, date boys but think about girls, date girls but think about boys. And then there's its place in the LGBTQ plus community to consider. It's a well-established letter. It's number 3, after all, squished right there in the middle. In some ways, it feels like it gets lost in the noise. We don't have the struggle of being homosexual in a heterosexual society the same way that gay and lesbian people do. We are attracted to the opposite gender too, so it must be easier. Easier to hide, easier to lie to ourselves and other people. For a long time, I was able to dissociate from it by telling myself that it's just sexuality. It's not a personality trait. That there's no urgency to being out or proud of anything. And I've since realized how important it is to acknowledge this part of myself. In a world where bisexuals are relatively underrepresented, I realized that I wanted to represent a bisexual person because I didn't have people representing that for me. In a world where we're still learning how to embrace all kinds of people, people in these various minorities take much longer to figure out who they are because there's no one around them speaking to their journey. And for a long time, I had bisexuality separated into an uncomfortable combination of heterosexuality and homosexuality. And it was the division in my mind that made it so difficult to navigate and accept who I am. I am bisexual and bisexual only, which took longer than it should have to figure out. Looking back, there are many moments where I felt like I was different. When I was 5, we were going to my friend's birthday party, and I vividly remember standing at the open front door of their house and seeing a line of about 5 girls in vibrantly colored tutus run past and up the stairs. And I remember looking down at my jeans and gray t-shirt and feeling like an outsider. But I think that rather than trying to fit myself into the wrong box, I just assumed that there was no box for me. I remember where I was when I found out that gay marriage had been legalized. I was 9 years old, standing out there in the narthex. I was attending a summer camp that the church did. One of the older guys was on his phone, and he told me and my friend the news as we walked by to wash our hands. And I just remember running into the bathroom and celebrating with that girl. She wasn't that excited, and I remember in that moment being a little confused as to why I was so excited. When I was 13, I had my first serious crushes on girls, and I was convinced that I would never look twice at a man for as long as I should live. And my mom even asked one day, "Are you ever going to tell us if you're gay?" And I was like, why would I do that? Because I was 13, and that's how we all felt at that age. I dated boys through most of high school. I might hear a song or have a dream, and then girls would have my attention for a day, but that would fade relatively quickly. And I tried not to think about it because honestly, it felt like cheating. If I'm dating this guy, then I must be attracted to him and only him at all times. And there was a lot of confusion and denial. But about a year ago, my outlook began to change. And like most of my generation, I looked to the internet. There's all kinds of gay and bi stuff on there. I learned what straight passing is, and what bi panic is, and what girl in red is. And my vision of the future began to evolve from something where I marry a man and have lots of babies to something completely new and fresh. I want to have kids at some point in my adult life, so the lesbian dream of two women running a small zoo of dogs and cats never quite fit for me. I felt like I couldn't have a family with a woman, but I couldn't have freedom with a man. This is where YouTube played a very critical role for me. About 10 months ago, I found two important YouTubers. One is a bisexual man from Ireland. He helped me see some of the struggles of living through adulthood as a bisexual. Apparently the feeling of not quite fitting in, the imposter syndrome, doesn't go away after high school. The other is a lesbian couple in Norway. They documented and shared their journey of getting married and starting a family on social media. It took me a long time to realize what I found so fascinating about them, aside from the fact that they're beautiful and live like influencers. They chose to start their family using IVF, where one of them carried their wife's egg fertilized by a sperm donor. And they did this long video about the birth that I watched, and it was probably halfway through the video when it hit me. Those two happy women were sitting there on their couch holding their baby. That was the first time I had ever seen that. Okay. It's the kind of thing where you've been told that something is possible your entire life, but it doesn't feel real if you never see it. I was seeing the possible future that I wanted for the first time, and it was earth-shattering. Then one day in late January of this year, my reality changed. It was like a switch had flipped, and suddenly I could not ignore this part of myself any longer. I woke up thinking about girls, and I just kept thinking about them. And I remember thinking that it was going to fade in a few days, like it always did. Well, this time it did not. It grabbed onto my life, and I began to rethink everything about who I am. Every second felt like lying, and I couldn't stand it. I chopped my hair off and got some different clothes, and I read so many gay books. Not only sapphic romances, but also history books. I remember the warm, scary feeling I had when I said that I should learn more about LGBTQ+ history because they're my people. For the first time in my life, I felt like a member of the community. In school, they teach us to end our writing with a call to action. I've given you all this information, so now I must tell you what to do with it. I don't want to do that, especially considering that my story isn't over. My childhood can't paint an accurate picture of my life as a whole. I have no idea where my bisexual journey will take me. There may even be a point where I identify as something else. That idea is part of why it was so scary for me to come out, because how do I know if I got it right? I was so embarrassed by the idea of coming out a second time, even though it's perfectly valid and real. Sexualities develop all through life, but there's this idea that people will be frustrated with you for changing your mind. It's not a decision you make, but rather a realization about something that is inherently true about yourself that you were blind to before. As my high school career has ended, I find myself increasingly thinking about women in my future. It's that classic confusion of, am I actually a lesbian, or have I just been traumatized by my ex-boyfriends? And every time I come to this problem, I remember my favorite Irish bisexual YouTuber. He says that being a bisexual is just forever wondering if I'm still experimenting or in the closet. Bisexuality is a fluid sexuality, having a fluid identity is to constantly be shifting within yourself, which makes it difficult to identify as anything for sure. For me, my current struggle is learning to rationalize and accept that fluidity. I don't know what new truths I'll discover about myself in the future, but what matters is that right now, I feel secure in my bisexuality and that I'm so excited to be entering adulthood knowing myself better than I ever have. Thank you.
I titled a sermon, Pride. It's a protest and a party. But I'm going to keep it short because this day was Natalie's day. So I'm going to read what I had planned for my closing. And you know what? That Pride sermon that I wrote, I'll use it next year, or maybe in October. Hannah Roberts Villeneuve wrote a poem that touched me about pride being a protest and a party. And I think about my own childhood of growing up in Houston, Texas with the Pride Parade and listening to Pacifica radio late at night. I was probably 14 or 15, and at 11 o'clock at night, gay radio would come on. That's what they called it, the gay radio hour. I myself, being a cisgendered person who identified as straight, what was important to me is that I was witnessing stories of revolution, stories of people feeling comfortable to call in on the telephone and tell their stories at 11:45 at night, when maybe someone else would hear them. And then I would go to my Unitarian Universalist congregation on Sundays and say to somebody whose voice I recognized, I heard you. And I love you. And I'm proud of you. And then we would go to the Pride parades, and our congregation would have our big banner and our flags and our glitter and cover ourselves with rainbows down our arms, and our youth group would walk with pride. So when I think of pride being a protest and a party, I think of those balloons and the glitter and our voices raised high. People sometimes ask, is pride a protest or a party? And you know the answer is yes. And why not? Why not? We rejoice as we resist. And we dance as we demand change. And we celebrate as we create community that delights in all of who we are. And we have brought all of that here today. And this does include our policy demands. And it involves our glitter and our rainbow shirts, as I see one over here. This also demands our Supreme Court broken heart be on our sleeve. And it also calls for rainbow socks and feather boas. This also includes the emptiness that sometimes we feel for those who were gone too soon. And so it is a party where we bring our Gloria Estefan mix, and we bring our tender hopes for change, and we bring the most garish eyeshadow and body paint, and we bring our spirit, sometimes tattered and battered by a world that seems insistent on choosing fear and hate instead. As we gather for that protest and for that party, we gather up all these things and we bring them here to a place where we don't have to shoulder these burdens or celebrate these joys alone. Because here we celebrate. Here it is a protest and it's a party. I put together something for us for closing today. We're going to sing a song and then have an announcement or two, and then we're going to dance. We have some music for us to dance to in the aisle, so just be ready, okay? Let's sing the closing hymn together, Draw the Circle Wide. And here are the words. It's a beautiful song.
Michael, I think you have an announcement for the youth.
Good morning. It's good to be back with you after a couple weeks of being off. So today we are doing our Must Ministry lunch put together. So the youth and kids, at the end of fellowship time, I will be at a table in the fellowship hall. We will start there, and we will start with the plan and talking about how we're going to do this together. All right, so meet me there.
Hi, everybody. Our Gender and Sexualities Alliance is hosting a Pride Party next week from noon until 2:30 during third hour. We would love to see everybody there. All are welcome. This is a congregation-wide community event. Please, please, please come out. We're going to have food. We're going to have crafts. We're going to have inspirational videos, all the things. Please come join us. It'll be a great time. Thanks.
Hey, Henry, would you mind coming and blow it out our chalice, please? Or extinguishing it with that mallet. As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish it, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Thank you, Henry. Do you have anything else?
We just need music.
Okay. All right, so now it's time for us to do our music.